Some breaking news coming in. The Director General of the Indo-Tibetan Border Police, Subhash Goswami, has met the Minister of State for Home, Kiran Rijuju, on the Chinese incursion in Chumur. The ITPB Chief briefed the Minister over the developments and claimed that the status quo is remaining in the area where Chinese troops have pitched tents well inside the Indian territory. Kamaljeet now joining us live on the story. Kamal, earlier reinforcements from the army and the ITBP reached the Chumur area. The face-off, we understand, is still on as the army is awaiting a response on request for a flag meeting to defuse the situation yet again.
Well, definitely so. There have been 3 flag meetings earlier which has not yielded much in terms of the Chinese army, but definitely MEA, the MHA, Defense Ministry, all have been briefed about it. We know Subhash Goswami, the DG of ITPP, is currently briefing MoS Home, Kiran Rijuju, and obviously he's carrying maps. He's obviously telling about the position. The DG also told us that the status quo so far seems to have maintained, and remember 7 tests have been pitched in by the Chinese PLA army, and that seems to be a cause of concern. And remember, there seems to be a point of confrontation both at Chumur as well as Demchok. Last year also we saw a 3-week standoff. So this seems to be a serious point of confrontation between the India and the army at the point of LAC. But remember, with the new government coming in place, with the President Xi Jinping coming right here, and the Chinese army obviously concurrently occupying that particular space, has made it more difficult for the Indian authorities to really deal with them. But right now all efforts to really try and control this particular situation so that there is no standoff. But right now the status quo is remained with the army, the Indian army and the Chinese army not backing off from that particular area.
Right, Kamal, and we understand that a flag meeting also is going to be called to sort of try and diffuse the situation. Now, remember, even in the past, they've proved inconclusive, and some of them have even been called off. So, what's the kind of likely timeline that we're looking at, actually?
Well, that should happen soon, but remember, Chinese army has been making repeated incursions into Chumur region, the 30-hour point, which has been a point of confrontation. According to the Ministry of Home Affairs, in their report to parliamentary, in the parliament, they had said there were 1,600 transgressions done by the Chinese army in the past 5 years. So this is something which is not new, but obviously India needs to protect its own interests, its own territory, and that is why they need to really control this particular situation so that the standoff doesn't escalate, and that is why a flag meeting will definitely be called soon, in a day or so. And what we do expect is that there could be certain discussion, and obviously the Chinese want a particular hut which has been made by the Indian army to be actually removed. As per the agreement, there could not be any permanent structure which could come up, and it was removed a few months ago. According to the Chinese army, a new structure has come up by the Indian authorities, and that is what is not really to their liking. So obviously with them pushing the civilians and obviously the Chinese PLA, things have escalated. Right now all pressure by the Indian authorities to actually de-escalate the situation and obviously have proper authority there. Remember, LAC is also about perceived actual control, line of control, and that is what seems to be an issue. Right now obviously authorities being briefed by both the defense as well as the ITBP, and they would be taking a call soon as to what can really be done.
Kamaljeet Sandhu, thank you for bringing us that update. Remember, this is as China is continuing today, India in Ladakh, with the PLA troops having pitched 7 tents inside the Indian territory and showing no signs of withdrawing. The Chinese arrived in vehicles on Saturday in Chumur, 300 kilometers from Leh, and began erecting tents inside the Indian territory despite repeated warnings by the Indian army to vacate the area. The strength of the troopers are opposite strategically important 30-hour post. Now, this post helps India keep a vigil deep inside the Chinese occupied territory. This incursion is in addition to the 35-odd personnel who are already camping at a hillock in the Chumur area. Meanwhile, the India-China media exchange program has been cancelled. This was an annual visit of the Chinese media, and the editors and journalists had their visas in place. However, no official reason has been given by the organizers, but obviously this comes at a time of heightened Chinese incursion in Ladakh.